It's time for the podcast again!
Hell,
good-
it's time. Yeah,
Good intro.
that makes sense.
Where would you rank that on the scale of intros for this podcast? We've done nearly 200 of these things, okay? I'm running out of things! There's only so many ways to start things!
Well, there's only one way. There's only one way to end them. Dead.
Wow. Okay. I mean, we could end the podcast by just, like, hitting the stop record button. That's usually what I do. But it's a good job that you're not in charge of the technical side of this podcast then. Because there'd have been one episode and it would have ended in tragedy.
Hey guys, this is first episode. It's going to be the last two. We're going to kill ourselves at the end of it.
God, that's awful. Coming up in today's podcast, I nearly died. There was some boxing. There's some big boxing news. Get your calendars out, like actually get them out on your phone in a bit. I'll tell you when. A weird thing surrounding and CDs, music, all those things might be in it. Every time I say this, I always picture someone listening to this and like, oh, those are the sort of things coming up. Okay, listen to the full podcast and like, where the fuck were all those things he talked about?
We usually don't even talk about like 3 of the things that Jake says at the beginning of the episode.
The reason
we either forget or we run out of time.
The reason I say that though is because I don't want to like spoil it. I don't want to actually spoil what's coming up, but I want you to kind of get an idea of what you're going to be hearing about. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just going to fucking get into it. First, we're going to start off with there was a big, well, I say big, it wasn't that big. Create a boxing fight, Judd. Do you know who it was?
No. I have no idea.
Jake Paul against a UFC legend, Nate Diaz. How do you think that went?
Oh my god. I think Nate Diaz said, yes, I will take 5 million in secret to lose this match, and then I think he lost the match.
Well,
is that what happened?
He put up a fight, and he did pretty well. But Jake Paul won. He knocked Nate Diaz down once, and it went to a decision by the end of it. Honestly, Jake Paul looked worse in this fight than he has in previous fights. Jake Paul looked better against Tommy Fury. He looked better against Anderson Silva. It looks like he's gotten worse, which isn't great for Jake Paul, really. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens there.
Why don't you tell him to his face? Why don't you tell him that to his goddamn face?
You know what? If I ever see him, I will. You know what? By the time, imagine I meet him in like 2029 and somehow he's gone on to become like a multiple world champion or something. Imagine he fucking kills it or whatever. And I go, yeah, but that one time you fought Nate Diaz, you look slightly worse than some other times. So, well, that's what happened. There's nothing much to talk about with that. If he would have lost to Nate Diaz, then he's basically fucked it. He has to win. I've just sent you a bunch of stuff on Facebook, by the way, because we're moving on to something. I wanted to tell you about something else. There's other big creator boxing news, but speaking of big stuff, there was a massive fire near my house. You know, I think it was last week I told you that there was someone like burning trash over kind of like, it's like over that way. I don't know why I'm pointing. It doesn't matter that I'm pointing. It's not like near my house, as in, like, it would worry me because it's burning or anything like that. But it's like, I guess, in my area. So last week, someone was dumping trash over the lane next to a primary school, and they'd set it on fire, and we called non-emergency, and they said, no, call emergency fire brigade, and they'll go out and deal with it, and they did, and we felt a bit embarrassed because it was so small. Well, who's embarrassed now? Because the entire field behind that school that I was talking about last week, the entire field lit on fire. The whole fucking thing. I'm trying to show it on the video version of the podcast, but it's kind of fucking up a little bit. So yeah. And I said last week that I feel a bit bad that, like, kind of reporting this stuff, and you're like, no, they need to know because they have to deal with it. Literally, from one end of the field to the other end of the field in a line was like a line of fire, and it was just creeping down this field. I'm putting videos on the screen right now of just how ridiculous it was. Like, honestly, it looks slightly apocalyptic in some
I was
cases.
just going to say, if you've listening to like the audio only version, just imagine like Nam. Imagine like Vietnam, like when they're dropping the fucking napalm down. It looks like that.
Honestly, it genuinely is like that. It was absolutely huge. And I feel bad for the farmer. His entire fucking field went up. The entire thing.
He'll be insured for that, though. He'll have some sort of insurance for that.
I'm sure. But it's just crazy. The amount of times that we've reported this shit is nuts. Yeah. And they've just done nothing about it. I've got, again, if you're looking at the video version of the podcast, which you can get on YouTube and Kick, you can get them there live, by the way.
Oh my
Get them there live, or you can watch the video versions after the fact they stay there. Dalton's saying, Jake says by 2025 he'll be world champion. I don't believe that. I don't think he will. I don't think Jake Paul's actually going to be. But I was just saying, imagine if he is, and somehow I meet him and still tell him, nah, but that one time you faced Nate Diaz, you were shit.
Jake Paul will be a world star boxing master, and India will be a world superpower.
Well, the second one's most likely. So I went out today and got some footage of like the field being burnt because it was just absolutely decimated. The fire people, the fire brigade, I guess that's what you call them. Of course it is. The fire brigade, they must have taken like an hour and a half, 2 hours to actually start trying to put it out.
Yeah.
Which I thought was crazy. How the hell did it take them that long? Because what happened was, we'd come out of the house, and we're actually looking after my family's dog this week. So we'd come out of the house, and we could see smoke. So we're like, oh my god, that fire looks bigger than we're used to seeing fires.
That fire's bigger than the normal neighborhood fire.
Yeah. So we went over to take a look. And it was big. I could see fire starting, but there was loads of people around there, and the dog we're looking after doesn't like people. So I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, I really want to look at this fire. I really want to get some good content. So what we had to do was walk like round for a long time, like at least half an hour, to kind of get the other side where there wouldn't be so many people, but we could still see it. So, and obviously it was massive when we got there. So it'd been developing for a little bit. We'd had to walk from my house to actually see what was going on for a bit. And then we had to walk another half hour to go down. That's when we started hearing sirens, right? So then we walked all the way back another half hour, put the dog back, met my grandma, and then walked back to where the fire was again. And then we saw them putting it out.
Grandma was on fire.
The grandma was on fire. The dog was on fire. No, but then they'd started putting it out. Only then. It's like, and honestly, I know, like, you know when you see firefighters in movies and they're like storming into a burning building and saving a baby and stuff like that. These firefighters looked, they must have been doing the job. Like, I'm no hate towards them or whatever. They looked like pussies compared to that. They looked like such pussies. They were so far away from the fire, and they were shooting these hoses, and the water was going like really far. But it didn't look like it was getting to the fire. They weren't shooting water at they were missing. They were so far away, the water was dropping before the fire.
They were missing.
It was huge. It was huge. Oh my god. But yeah, so, you know, I might have been complaining about a tiny fire that maybe seems like a waste of time to call the fire brigade out for, but, you know, literally like less than a week later, in fact, about a week exactly later, an entire field burnt down. And that was right next to a primary. That fire was like, oh shit, actually, the school actually might burn down now. So,
it's probably one of the teachers who probably wanted it to fucking burn down.
Maybe. Kids are pretty hellish. So,
that's a teacher.
Oh, right. Anyway, in other boxing news, Judd, in other creator boxing news, do you remember, I think it was the last creator boxing card that we watched together. There was a Spanish guy. He was called Virus versus DK Money. DK Money was who it was against. Do you remember last time we watched? And who else was on that card? Let me just have a quick check, my bob. Where is it? Wait, okay. So it was when KSI fought Joe Fournier. Do you remember that? The last KSI fight?
Joe Fornicator, yeah.
As we were saying the same as we were saying the previous one before that. Not a lot of knockouts to enjoy, actually. It was getting a little bit stale.
No.
But then this fight happened and there was 2 knockdowns. DK Money knocked down Virus, but then Virus came back and do you remember these big knockouts at all?
Yeah, I do. I remember. So,
big drama. This, by the way, Virus versus DK Money, one of our third most viewed video on YouTube of all time. We were getting loads of comments from Spanish people like, yeah, he's so good, he's a great guy, he makes really inspirational content. We were so happy to see him win, and they were rooting for him when we were watching live on the night and everything. Apparently, he had a drug test afterwards, and he had 10 times as much testosterone in his body as he was supposed to.
Now, how did that get there?
How did that get there? Oh, I don't know. So, apparently, the 10 times testosterone. Apparently, the 10 times testosterone thing isn't actually true. That was cooked up by Keemstar, but the guy did apologize for doping, basically. So he was on something, PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs, of some kind. He apologized for it, but he didn't have 10 times as much testosterone in his body like fucking Keemstar tried to say. So, but it's such a shame because that was such a cool comeback, and I was so pleased for all these Spanish fans who got to see someone who wasn't from the UK or the US do well in one of these fights. And he's fucked it. He's absolutely fucked it. How? What the fuck is wrong with you? It's a fucking PEDs in other sports. You can almost justify it as I'm just doing whatever I can to win, because they already do whatever they can. They already give up their lives to win and everything. So you can kind of justify it with the same thing there if you really had to. I still obviously don't think it's justifiable, but when it's in a combat sport, we've seen people die doing this. It's not unheard of at all. Performance enhancing drugs in basketball, people, that's not going to kill someone as a result of it. But in boxing, it's like a possibility. So it's just pathetic. And fuck that guy. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Fuck that stupid, worthless piece of shit. And you know what? I hope he dies.
Oh. I hope he gets banned from boxing, at least. That's probably...
I hope he dies like a terrible, tragic death.
Well, he could have a heart attack as a result of this shit. Honestly.
That wouldn't be tragic, though. That'd be ironic.
God, I keep pausing to think about... I'm sorry if I'm a bit off in this podcast, by the way, because I'm so fucking tired. I don't know why. Yeah. It's my day off today. It's my day off work. Every 2 weeks on a Wednesday, I get a day off of work. And today, I slept in like crazy. I slept till 11:30 today without even trying. I kind of just woke up. And often what normally happens now is I'll wake up and then I kind of go back to sleep for a bit more, and I do that for a little bit until I think, well, I've done this a few times, it's probably quite late now. But I just woke up and I'm like, oh god, what time is it? And it was 11:30, so I'm like, oh fuck. I still had to have a nap at 1:30 because I don't know what it is. I'm just tired. And even now, I got up from my nap, I had a bath, and then I sat down and I'm like, fucking hell, I could do with another sleep. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think that my girlfriend was saying it's just because you've finally relaxed for once, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Stop doing things constantly. And I swear that happens. I hate being relaxed. I hate it.
Yeah.
I feel all like floppy and I'm constantly tired. I can't focus on stuff. Do you ever get like that?
No, I know exactly what you mean because it's like I've been like scared to drive home because of like how tired I've been. Like I'll be like driving and like my eyes will be like wide open. They'll be wide open, but yeah, it's like I can feel myself still dropping because like you know the car will like slightly just start drifting over, and I'm like I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
It's like you're almost like disassociating with reality from being so tired. It's awful. It's like this is type of shit that like 60-year-olds talk about. I'm 26. Like, come on. I know I'm like creeping closer and closer towards 30, but fucking hell, I shouldn't be this tired all the damn time. It's really bad. But do you know what I mean with like being relaxed?
Yeah, I guess so. I'll be honest with you. Like, relaxing is only sort of something I've sort of like just sort of managed to get the hang of, and I know that you're going to be laughing at that because of how you say how lazy I am, but I've always really struggled with my anxieties. So like whenever it used to seem I was like at peace with stuff, there'd always be something going at the back of my mind. So now like I am able to like relax, but damn, that shit tiring.
It's so stupid.
Tiring business.
It's like people like kind of. It's weird to describe it like this because you'd think everyone's relaxed at some point, but I've relaxed so little in my life that I have to have people like tell me what it's supposed to be like, and people describe it as like a really good thing to re-energize you. That's never how I've experienced being relaxed. Every single time, I've just felt more tired. I've just felt so tired. It's kind of like being a dog. Dogs must be relaxed all the time because they sleep the entire time you sleep, and then they like take 5 naps during the day, and that's what it feels like. And I don't like it. I don't want to be relaxed. I don't want to be exhausted either. I feel like there's a middle ground where you're not relaxed and chill. You've got plenty of stuff to do. You're on the go and busy and stuff, but you're not like worn out. You know?
Yeah.
That's the perfect middle ground. But you know, we'll be worn out after a bunch of stuff going on is us, because there's all sorts of stuff that we need to talk about. Right, Judd. You, Judd, and also people watching or listening this, everyone get your calendars out on your phones. I'm not joking. Actually do it. You're not doing it, Clive. I know you fucking get your I know you're busy. You're washing the dishes, your hands wet. Fucking dry your hands. Get your phone out. Open your calendar. Louise, I don't give a shit about you cleaning the fish tank right now. It's not important. Fucking get your calendar out. Okay,
Ben. We know you've got the whole thing with your grandmother. You don't have to do it. It's fine. Like, we get that sometimes stuff comes first. It's fine.
Yeah. But like, you know, like in an hour or so, you could.
Charlie, you've got no fucking excuse.
So, some dates.
Yeah.
The first thing to sort out, podcast day. It needs to change from a Wednesday, and it's going to be either a Tuesday or a Thursday. Which is better for you, Judd?
It'll be definitely Thursday, because Tuesday is Nerd Day. That's when I go to my Warhammer.
Thursday it is. Starting next week then. Normally, the podcast next week would be on Wednesday the 16th. The podcast recording, because we record it live on Kick and YouTube. So normally our live day where we record the podcast live and do other things live is Wednesdays, and normally next week it would be on the 16th. However, next week it's going to be the 17th, which is the Thursday, and that's going to continue every week after that, every Thursday between 6 and 6:30 p.m. We will be starting the regularly scheduled live session, which always includes a podcast recording. There you go. That's that done. Bish, bash, bosh. I'll do a tweet about it later. Next up. Speaking of podcasts, our 200th podcast is coming up. This is episode 194, if I think correctly. So we're going to have all sorts of interesting stuff. I might come up with some more ideas, so there might be even more than this. But Normally, we never get presents for each other for birthdays and Christmas and stuff, but every 100 podcasts we do, so there's going to be presents. We're going to be having some sort of beer taste test competition. I think it's going to be like a World Cup knockout style. So I'm going to be getting a popular beer brand from loads of countries throughout the world, and we're going to kind of head-to-head test them bracket style and crown a winner, something like that. It might change slightly, but it'll be something pretty much along those lines. We'll be talking about how our lives have changed in 100 episodes, probably doing some drinking games. And we might have to, we might be getting some questions from our friends to ask us anything weird stuff, and then some other games as well. I have written down here, drill armpit shave. I think I was probably drunk when I wrote that down, so maybe that'll happen. Who knows? We'd probably get banned if we do that. You can shave your armpits with a drill and duct tape, so...
Oh, yay.
That might happen, so put the date in your calendar for that. Currently, we'll let you know on the podcast and on Twitter at tweetsbadly, x.com tweetsbadly, if this changes, but currently, it's looking like Saturday the 16th of September. So...
Can't do it.
Really?
No.
So yeah, Saturday the 16th of September is the day it looks like that will be on. We'll be doing what we normally do when it's this sort of thing. Judd comes around like between 3 and 4, and we start sometime maybe 4 or 5 p.m. So put it in your calendar. Clive, Jeremy, Ron, Patricia?
Me.
Judd? Yeah, you. That's probably the most important one. Put it in your calendar. 200th podcast special, Saturday, 16th of September, starting sometime between 4 and 5 p.m. UK time. Subject to change, but I think if we actually manage to do the podcast weekly like it's supposed to be done, and we don't have to skip any, then that's what the date will be. So... there you go. Right. I'm not done, because we've got another live event just 1 month after that. The last thing you need to put in your calendar before we move on to some other interesting stuff is the 14th of October. We will be doing a live watch-along of the KSI versus Tommy Fury fight card. Judd should have already put this in his calendar.
I'm pretty sure that one's already in. I'm pretty sure that one's already in.
We'll talk more on it as we get closer to that fight card, but KSI versus Tommy Fury. Come to the Streams Badly Kick or YouTube channel to watch it along with us. It's gonna be fucking great. Yeah.
It's gonna be total legit epic.
So KSI's fighting on that card. He's fighting Tommy Fury. He's trying to do what Jake Paul couldn't. He's trying to beat Tommy Fury, who Jake Paul's fought before and lost to. Split decision. It was closer than you might think. But honestly, I don't think KSI is going to win. I would like him to. It'd be really fucking cool. But even he knows, like, he shouldn't win that. And I'm pretty sure I said this last week. But the other thing to update you on, Judd, is Logan Paul is going to be fighting on that card as well. So another massive fight. He's going to be fighting Dillon Danis, or Dillon Danis, is it? Dillon Danis. Yeah, because it's Dillian White.
He's going to be fighting. He's going to be fighting Dill and Danis at the same time.
Yeah, Dill and Danis.
Right.
Dillon Danis, KSI was scheduled to fight at one point, and he is the biggest fucking troll job in this whole scene. He fucking acts like he's like a really good MMA fighter, like he's a fucking great. He trains with Conor McGregor, he's friends with Conor McGregor, and he's just a bitch. Honestly, he just fucking. I honestly don't think he will actually fight. I honestly don't think he's going to turn up to fight. I know for a fact that the people who are organising this event might have booked a replacement before booking Dillon Danis, because he's such a pussy. And so that's who Logan Paul's supposed to be fighting, and Logan Paul will win that. I'm very confident that Logan Paul will win that fight, and hopefully he'll win it by devastating knockout, because that would be incredible. And that's all we know about it so far. The other thing to say is Slim was supposed to be scheduled to fight Salt Pappy.
Slim Shady?
No, Slim, the creator boxer. And he's been a fucking pussy too and doesn't want to fight Salt Pappy. He says that he's not being paid enough because he thinks that fight's massive and it'll bring loads of attention. Fuck off. No, it won't. You're wrong. It's stupid because anyone who is really interested in seeing that fight is already interested in seeing KSI versus Tommy Fury. Like, the entire audience for Slim versus Salt Pappy is already going to buy this because KSI versus Tommy Fury. There's no need to give Slim loads of money because he's bringing more people. He's not bringing more money to this as a result of that. They just want to put on a good event. So, like, I guess maybe it's like, well, if I don't take it now for this amount of money, you'll give me more money for it to be its own main event. But that's not how this works most of the time. If you've been offered it and then you decline it and want more money, they're going to be like, well, fuck you then. We're not giving you an offer ever again. So we'll see. And you're excited, right? You understand all that. You know who all those people are.
Yeah. I know KSI. He did the Heskey dance, the Heskey time dance, the Heskey song.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
This is my favourite song. I wonder if they ever released CDs of that. Collector's edition?
He was on Spotify.
Yeah, but I want the collector's edition framed on my wall.
You want the vinyl?
Yeah. I've not got a vinyl player, but sure. Why not?
Bitch, I'm Heskey. You don't want to mess with me. That one.
That's actually a pretty good impression. I'm not gonna lie. Speaking of CDs, though, recently I was in your favourite city for freaks, Judd, Leeds. Because I work there, and there was like a work event thing. Basically, there's a bunch of bear statues in Leeds. You seen any of those?
Yes, they're all over the damn place. What are they doing?
Yeah, so it's kind of this thing for people to go around and buy merchandise for and things like that. It's for kids, I guess. It's based on the Going on a Bear Hunt book. We're going on a bear hunt. Something, which was written by Michael Rosen of the YouTube Poops, by the way. I never knew that.
What, really?
Yeah.
It's actually what the fuck? Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's based around that. And a lot of it is to do with where I work, kind of. It's basically raising money for a new children's hospital, and my work is involved with helping with all that sort of shit. I
might even be building the children's hospital.
You might be, actually, with where you work.
Yeah.
By the way, just a quick shout out to the Bear Trail. They look quite cool, quite pretty bears. If you're in Leeds and you want to see them,
I love bears.
Thing.
I went to Leeds Pride, and there was a lot of bears there.
Oh, did you? Did you actually?
You know what? Technically, I did, because it was on the same day as my tournament was on at Leeds. So technically,
right.
Yes.
Okay, but you didn't go to the Pride thing. Okay.
No, I didn't know.
Well, as part of my work, we kind of had like a working day off where we didn't have to do as normal work. We just went round the bear hunt thing and looked at some of the bears with other people from other staff. And one of them is in Leeds Market. And there's a stall selling CDs on Leeds Market, and we were walking past it to look at this bear, and my head was completely turned away from the bear because there was like a grown-ass man, like a portly, quite slightly chubby, like a little bit taller than you, but shorter than me. He might have been an inch, maybe 2 inches taller than you. 5 foot what? 8, I guess, then.
Yeah.
Dressed in, like, a very ill-fitting Batman costume. Like a really cheap one, and it might have been a kid's one.
Yeah.
And he was just, like, browsing CDs.
Yeah.
No one gave a shit. You can tell that this is a city that's used to this shit. Because no one thought, what the fuck is up with this guy? I was the only one looking like, it's kind of weird. Everyone else was just like going about the day, didn't give a fuck. And he looked like It reminded me slightly of. Do you remember on the Dark Knight when there's like the Batman imposters who are like using guns and stuff, like right at the start?
yeah. And the guy goes, "How come you get to do it? What makes you so different?" And Batman goes, "I'm not wearing hockey pants."
This guy was like a Wish version of that Wish version. It was like, it was. I don't know. There's not much else to say about him. I just was like. Fucking hell! I wonder what CDs he was after.
The Batman soundtrack.
The Batman soundtrack. Speaking of music as well, new music from a classic. See if you can guess who I'm talking about.
Nickelback.
No, they've not released music in a long time.
Lost Prophets.
Yeah, no, fuck. UK artists. Are they? Oh, I didn't know. UK artists from back in the day, from like maybe around 2007, something like that.
Is it your favourites? Is it Busted?
No, well, actually, yes, but no. That's not what I was talking about. Busted have released another greatest hits album with a lot of their greatest hits, but like featuring a bunch of other artists on each one that they've done different. That's not what I'm talking about, though. Okay, they're a group. It's a group. I'm trying to think of like increasingly easier to guess. Okay, one of the members of the group is known for something not safe for work.
Man or woman?
So I believe there's 2 men, 1 woman in the group.
And they're British.
Yes. So if I say dick slapping, they're dick slapping good. Yeah, the female in the group, a sex tape got leaked when we were teenagers. Well, you might not have even been a teenager. When we were teenagers, and she was made fun of because rather than like sucking on the dick so much, she was just slapping it against her head a load of times.
I don't know. I see. I remember that story. I remember the dick slapping story, but I have no idea who these are. Like, I couldn't tell you.
Okay, what if I say it's not Tinchy Stryder, but they did have a song with Tinchy Stryder?
It's N-Dubs.
It's N-Dubs! Yay! I mean, my last clue.
I forgot the girl from N-Dubs had a dick slapping sex tape.
Oh, bless! I feel so bad for her. Like back then, when we were teenagers, we were like, "Oh, well, I don't know about you." I was like, "Oh, this is funny. She's slapping a dick." But now I look back and like, "Oh God, that must have been awful."
I honestly don't think I ever saw it. Which
no, you probably didn't.
I know. I don't think I saw it.
I saw it. I did just Google it again right now to see if it's still about. I couldn't find it. Within like 10 seconds of me Googling it, I couldn't find it anyway. Yeah. So, which is probably for the best. They've got a new album out. There, though. Do you know what? It's fucking good album. It's a pretty good album. I'm enjoying it.
Really? Oh wow.
It's not amazing. Like, it's not going to blow your mind, but I'm enjoying it. I quite like it. I think it's because, if you think about it, the type of stuff N-Dubs did, it's kind of popular now. It's kind of popping off. Like, you know, all the trap beats and kind of hip-hop type of thing. And it's pretty, you know, they fit quite well. It's quite good. I've been listening to it. It's good. McFly has also got an album out at the minute, which I really like. If you like guitar music, it's got a lot of kind of original songs, but they've got a lot of vibe of, like, older guitar music, you know, like 70s rock, 80s rock, and then there's some 90s grunge to it sometimes.
Is it not still McBusted then?
No, that was like a one-off thing. They only did one album. That
I thought they were just like, we're McBusted forever now.
No. Both of them are barely even McFly or Busted ever now, because they've all got kids and stuff, and they go off to write books and shit, and I don't know. But N-Dubs, shout out to N-Dubs. Yeah. Right. Yeah, man, here's a thing that I think we can fucking. I didn't think that we'd only be through half an hour's worth of podcast right now. So what we're gonna do is look up a list of UK prime ministers, and you're gonna have to do this too, Judd.
List. I know we're gonna do hot or not.
Yes! Yeah, we are! We're looking up a list of UK Prime Ministers, and we're gonna do what should we do? Should we rate them out of 10? Should we do smash or pass? Should we do what do you think of this?
Well, I think we should do ratings out of like 10 or something, because I feel like all of them are just going to be passes, really, aren't they?
Okay. Well, you never know. Okay. How many of these are there? A lot. So we're gonna have to fucking hurry up with this shit because there's a lot of them. Right. Let me zoom in real quick. First, we're starting with Robert Walpole. His eyebrows are all wonky. I've zoomed right in on these. His eyebrows are wonky. He's got like 4 chins. Give us a score, Judd.
Sorry, are we starting from like the very beginning?
Yeah, the very beginning.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go through this quickly.
I think I give him a 4.
2.
He's
Next. I can't.
In fact, no, I'm gonna drop it down to a 2 as well, because I want to give this guy a 3.
Spencer Crompton. He's got a massive nose. He's got a few less chins. 2. Henry Pelham. He looks the same as the first guy, but his eyebrows are neat. 3.
That's fair. Is this another Pelham? Oh, I've lost it now. Great. Another Pelham. Pelham Halls. 3.
No, that Thomas Pelham Halls is the next one. Which might
Thomas
be his
Pelham
son. 3. William Cavendish. Oh, he's a bit of a dish, actually.
He is a dish. I'd give him a 6.
Yeah, I will give a 6. And then we're back to Thomas Pelham Halls, who we already rated. Jon Stewart. My goodness. Oh, wait. Oh, he's a Tory.
I'd still give him a 6.
I'm going to give Jon Stewart a fucking 8. Jon Stewart looks pretty fucking hot.
Wow, okay. All right.
And then we're back to George Grenville. He's mid-5, I guess.
He
looks a bit odd.
He's got one of those creepy faces. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Part of the Whig Party. Weird. Charles Watson Wentworth.
This guy's looking all right.
Wentworth.
This guy's looking all right.
Decent. I would say.
I think I give this guy a 6. I would have given him a 6.
Okay. William Pitt the Elder.
The Elder.
Even in his flattering painting, his face is all like weird and melting. Oh no, 2. Definitely 2.
2. Augustus
Fitzroy. Okay, Augustus Fitzroy. I'm going to say 6.
I give him a 6. Yeah.
This is great content. No one can see what the fuck we're talking about right now. But fine. We're describing to him. Frederick North looks a lot. He reminds me of a frog. He's giving me frog vibes.
He looks like a pinhead. He looks like a cone head, alien.
He does. He looks nice though. I'm going to say 3.
I give him a 2. He's
his
like
lips
a cone head. I don't like his cone head. It's the cone head.
Oh, Charles Watson Wentworth again. Oh, then we've got William Petty. He's scraggly. He's too scraggly for me.
I don't even have him a 1. He's the nastiest one so far.
Really? I thought 3. He's got big eyebrows. Oh my God! William Cavendish Bentink. William Cavendish Bentink.
Betnick?
Bentink.
So hold on, wait.
William
that's
Cavendish.
Bentink. Yeah, Bentink. He's not ugly. It's just his face is all over the damn place. It's like, what is going on?
Weird shape.
It's like, do you know? His face is shaped like a crescent moon. It's fucking bizarre.
It is. One, he's freaking me out. That's not a human right there.
He's not.
Oh,
that's not
my
right,
God. William Pitt the Younger.
Pitt the Younger. Oh my God.
My God.
He's so cute.
That is a 9 out of 10 Prime Minister right there. I'm getting a little bit hot and bothered.
Yeah, I am as well, actually. Oh, God damn it. I would have voted for him.
I've legit gone red. I've gone red. Judd's about to bang one out to William Pitt the Younger.
I am William Pitt the Younger.
Shame he's a Tory. Wait a minute. Scroll down. Henry Addington. Fuck Fucking hell! What is it? What is it in this era? Why are the prime ministers so fucking sexy? Oh my god! I'm gonna give Henry Addington. I don't know. I'm gonna say 8 out of 10 for Henry Addington.
Yeah, I think I'd give him an 8. He looks a bit like James Franco.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then William Pitt the Younger is back, but now he's old. So he's not younger anymore, but he still looks pretty fucking hot, actually. He looks a bit like a daddy.
Fox. He's like a silver... You know what? He reminds me a little bit of Corvo from Dishonored.
Bit. I'm going to knock him down to a 7 now, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. William Grenville as well looks pretty fucking hot. What's going on? He looks like Dave Franco. Okay, 8 out of 10 again. William Grenville, fine, okay.
But then we're back to fucking Crescent Moon face.
Oh no! Crescent Moon face is back. Oh my god!
Oh my god! And then immediately after Spencer Percival.
I don't know though. His eyes are massive.
No. That's what I'm saying. He looks like an alien wearing like man flesh over like his alien body.
Yeah, it's freaking me out a bit, but he doesn't look bad for it. In a weird way, it doesn't look that bad. I'm gonna say 5 because like I'm weirdly torn. What were you going with 5?
Yeah, 5.
Okay.
I'm looking at Robert. Robert Jenkson though. That's not
Robert Jenkson looks like my friend Dan's dad.
Yeah. I give him 4.
I was gonna 4. I was scared to say a bad score then because I've just said he looks like my mate's dad. But and then George Canning, he's got like sideburns growing on just his cheeks. That's weird.
Yeah, that is pretty weird.
4. I don't like your hair. It's freaking me out.
Yeah.
You might have gotten a 5 if you'd just been bald, but
I'd actually say 3.
Ugh. Okay.
I'd put it down to 3.
Oh,
Frederick John Robinson.
Oh, yeah, Frederick John Robinson looks pretty good.
Frederick John Robinson is hot in the way that like a country bumpkin from like out west, but like a tubbier one, not like chiseled sort of like cowboy, more like.
It reminds me of Caleb Cooper from Clarkson's Farm. You know him?
A little bit. I think I know what you're talking about.
From Clarkson's Farm. He's kind of like him. He actually looks quite a lot like him. he's ginger and everything. Is it a time traveler? I don't know. I would say 7. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, 7. I think 7's
Arthur Wellesley. Very close to being Arthur Weasley.
He's like disproportionately handsome. It's strange. He's
like, all right. His nose is like overly hooked. Like the bridge of his nose almost sticks out more than the tip of his nose. He's almost got a fucking rhombus for a nose.
I gotta say though, that makes me feel like he's been fighting, and I like a fighting prime minister.
That does not make me think like he's been fighting.
It makes me feel like he's been fighting.
Other than that, he looks all right. He looks kind of like Snape. I'm going to say 5.
I'm going to say 6.
Now, Charles Grey is made of wax. And what the fuck is going on with you, Charles?
Someone please move Charles away from the fire because he is melted.
He looks so sad. 1, I would have to kill myself. It's awful. He's made of wax. He's depressed as fuck. What's going on? William Lamb, however, now that's a head of hair. Okay, like he's an older guy. He's a bit.
Yeah, he's an older guy, but he's got big, nice green eyes in this picture.
A very masculine chin. A good head of hair in him. I think I don't know. He's a bit old. I'm gonna say a 7 anyway.
I'd give 6.
Okay. Arthur Wellesley. We had him already. Arthur Wellesley. And we've got a different picture of Arthur now. He looks better in this picture. I think this actually might... No, this isn't a picture. Surely. No. It's still a painting. Arthur, same
6.
score, whatever. Robert Peel.
Robert Peel.
No, he's looking a little odd.
I give him a 5.
Yeah,
I give him a 5.
He's just an average dude. Not much to describe with him. Yeah. William Lamb's back. Robert Peel's back. The first actual pictures of these guys rather than just paintings that could... Lord John Russell. He looks mean. and he's got way too much hair everywhere. Like, his eyebrows are long. Like, his eyebrows are covering his sight.
We've moved on to actual pictures now. So we're not like...
I don't like him.
Sort of like...
He looks evil. I'm going to say 1. I feel like he's about to fucking slay my village. Like, you know, I feel like he's about to colonize me.
What the fuck is going on with Edward Smith Stanley, though?
Oh.
His beard's like... I don't know. It's like ghostly.
It's like he's shaved apart from the neck. He's left the neck bit growing. I don't know, he doesn't look bad, though. His face is, like, poking out from his hair. His hair's, like, forming a bush that his face is poking out from. But the face is pretty decent. I'm going to say a 6.
I am a 6?
Yeah.
For Edward Smith Stanley?
Yeah, he looks manly. He's giving me a bit of Thanos energy.
That's crazy. I'd give him a 2.
Okay. George Hamilton. Oh, my God.
Gordon.
This is the oldest man ever.
He's only
fucking 80 in this photo. He looks like he's 160.
That was very old for back then, though. When was this?
He was part of the Peelite Party, which we've never seen again.
The Peelites were a breakaway descendant political faction of the British Conservative Party from 1846 to 1859.
Oh, so you're probably also racist because you're kind of like fucking, what was it called? UKIP. UKIP was one of those. Yeah. 0. He looks like hell. He looks like hell itself. Oh like my hell. God. Henry John Temple is.
I get it a little bit.
He's like. He's on something. He's on like opium or something.
He looks super spaced out.
Did he know that someone was taking a picture of him in this? I don't think he realised.
He just kind of look like he's looking off to the side going, huh?
Yeah, 1. I'm not interested. I don't like him. Gross. Although he's got kind of modern hairstyle, balding for it, but yeah. Oh, so Henry John Temple, who I've just rated a 1, what do you give him?
Henry John Temple, I'd give him like a 3.
He was part of the Whig Party when he was in power, but then he was in power again as part of the Liberal Party. And he was like joint Prime Minister. Oh wait, no, it wasn't. I'm lying. We've got John Russell again. We already talked about him, and then Edward Smith Stanley again. Benjamin Disraeli. I've heard of him. He is Snape from Harry Potter.
Yeah, no, this guy actually is just Snape.
So 5?
I give him a 4. Yeah, like a 5. No, like a 4. I give him a 4.
Yeah, I think a 4. I think that's more fair.
Jesus Christ!
Oh God, what? William Edward Gladstone. I've actually started to hear of some of these prime ministers now. No, 1. I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah,
you are older than time itself as well. But you don't look quite as bad as that other completely abhorrent guy, George Hamilton Gordon. Benjamin Disraeli's back again. Snape's back, and then William Gladstone swapped again. Robert Gascoigne Cecil.
Jeez, this guy is like...
He looks like he should be a communist, but he's actually the opposite of that. No, 2. Thanks. 2, yeah. At least he's got a good beard and he's not too grey. William Gladstone's back again, for fuck's sake. Robert Gascoigne's back again, for fuck's sake. Why is William Gladstone been Prime Minister of the UK more than anyone else? He must have. And then we've got Archibald Primrose, who looks like the biggest fucking like Tory rich boy I've ever seen, and he's called Archibald Primrose.
Yeah.
What?
2.
I don't care if he seems younger. He's
actually liberal.
He was liberal, weirdly. We got Robert Gascoigne again. Arthur Balfour.
This guy, his face looks like. Did you watch It?
Yeah,
the new one.
Yeah,
you know, like the painting of the woman.
Yeah,
that's what he's shaped like.
His head is shaped like the letter J.
Yeah.
He slapped a mustache on the letter J, called it a day on that one.
Like, there's our Prime Minister.
He also reminds me of fucking, what's his face a bit? Like Mr. Adams, the Adams family dad, but his mustache is too big. One, I don't like him.
Yeah, one.
Henry Campbell Bannerman. He's not good looking, and he's old. He looks very old. He looks like he might be going blind, actually, but he looks friendly enough. He's got a very strong mustache.
He looks friendly, and you know what? He just looks like he knows what he's doing as well.
He does, actually. I'm still going to go 3, though.
I give him a 4.
Fair enough. Oh, okay. H.H. Asquith. Now we're talking. Like, he's kind of old as well, but he looks pretty good. He's got a good hair, got a good hairstyle, got a nice jaw. I'm going to say a 6.
Yeah, I give him a 6.
Okay. David Lloyd George. This looks like someone from modern day has dressed up like olden days and tried to make the picture look old.
Yeah.
He seems nice. He seems like a nice chap. He's not amazing looking. He's got a massive mustache. I'm going to say a 6.
I give him a 5.
Fair enough. Now speaking of people who look like this dude reminds me of Ralph Fiennes. You know, the actor, the guy who played Voldemort. Or he reminds me of the villain from Arcane. You know, that sort of look.
Yeah.
Bonner Law, he's called. He's pretty distinguished. Good mustache, sharp features. I think a 6 or a 7, somewhere around there for me.
Jake, I want you to take your finger, and I want you to put it. Cover the mustache, and then take the other one and cover his hair. Who is that? Vladimir Putin.
No.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
No, I was thinking it looks like Ralph Fiennes, or is it Rafe Fiennes?
That looks honestly when you cover the hair and you cover his mustache, he looks like Vladimir Putin. I'm gonna give him 3
because he looks like Putin. Ralph Fiennes. Google Ralph Fiennes real quick. He looks just like him.
Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph Fiennes. Ralph Fiennes and that guy. He looks like just the same.
Yeah.
Like super similar.
God. That's scary, that, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
He looks like Ralph Fiennes.
Stanley Baldwin. No. 4. He's got weird eyebrows. His eyebrows are 2 colours at once and sticking out everywhere. They're small eyebrows, but they stick up and they're multiple colours and.
Yeah, 3.
Okay, so now we've got the first member of the Labour Party, and thank fuck they're sexy. Because
they are fairly sexy, actually.
Yeah, this guy's an older guy, but he's got a good set of hair, nice hairstyle, a really strong mustache. He looks like a rootin' tootin' cowboy, to be fair. I'm feeling like a 7.
I give him a 6.
We're back to Stanley Baldwin. No. Wait, this next one, Ramsay MacDonald, looks like a slightly sexier version of. Oh wait, it's the same guy, Ramsay MacDonald.
It is Ramsay MacDonald.
I was gonna say, like, it looks like he got a better haircut. I think that's all that happened. But weirdly, he's not just Labour. He's Labour and National Labour. Don't know what that means.
The National Labour Organisation, also known as the National Labour Committee, or simply known as National Labour, was a British political group formed after the 1931 creation of the national government to coordinate the efforts of the supporters of the government who had come from the Labour Party. So it was like an offshoot to help manage it, I suppose.
Okay,
and
weird. Stanley Baldwin's back. He's giving fucking that other guy a run for his money. Who was it? William Gladstone.
Neville Chamberlain.
Neville Chamberlain. Now he's quite famous. I've heard of Neville Chamberlain.
Yeah, I've heard of Chamberlain before.
Big nose on this guy. Big ears on this guy actually as well. Look at those fucking ears. Fucking hear people discussing his political downfall in the next room.
And you know what? With those ears, he can hear war coming because the next one is Winston Churchill.
We didn't fucking rate Neville Chamberlain, you bitch.
1.
3.
Anyway,
1. Okay. Winston Churchill. Now, he's got that like daddy energy. You know, he did some shit. Like, he actually did some good shit. Like, he won a war. But God, he's ugly.
He's quite repulsive, NTR Churchill. You know,
if he'd not won that war, he'd be a straight up fucking zero. He's so ugly. But because he won the war, I'll chuck him a pity point in. I'll
give him a 10. He won the war.
I'm gonna give him a 1 for winning the war for us, because thanks for that. You know, cheers, Winston.
Yeah, cheers, Winston.
Next is Clement Attlee.
Oh my God, Clement! What happened?
He looks like he's on a bit of crack.
Yeah.
Ugh, 1
Yeah,
as well.
I'm gonna give him 1. Yeah. Now, weirdly enough, I didn't actually know this, but then we've got Winston Churchill again.
So I think Winston Churchill was Prime Minister not in the war. Oh wait, no, he was. He was in the war. Yeah, no. First time it was him in the war. I thought it was probably first time it wasn't him in the war. Then Labour was in charge when the war happened, but everyone we need real leadership. And then they did Winston Churchill again. Because as much as I probably would vote for Labour over Conservative, this isn't a political podcast, but I do prefer Labour to Conservative personally. Willing for my mind to be changed though. I would probably prefer Conservatives to do a war, if anything. But anyway. Anthony Eden. What's going on with your neck, Anthony? Like, if you didn't have such a weird neck, then you would probably be good looking. But you got the whole neck thing going on.
He looks like Howard Stark,
but probably slightly worse,
and a much thicker neck.
I'm gonna say a 5 though. His neck's freaking me out a bit. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna go a 5 as well.
Oh, Harold, are you okay? Poor Harold Macmillan.
Jesus, Harold.
He looks sadder than the other guy.
Made of wax.
Oh, God, Harold, why are you so upset? It's the 80s, Harold. No, it's not. It's the 50s, Harold.
No, it's 1950s.
Come on, it's the 50s, Harold.
It's the 50s. It's still okay to beat your wife. Come on, cheer up.
The war's finished now, Harold. Come on. Good Lord, he's the saddest person in the world. 1. Oh, we've got the first colour picture. Alec Douglas Hom.
It's the first coloured Prime Minister, and by that I mean his picture's in colour.
In the 60s. He looks okay. I'm gonna say a 6. He's kind of old, but he looks nice, and I guess.
I give him a 4.
Okay. Harold Wilson. Now, this guy needs some rest. He's got huge eye bags, and his hair's a bit all over the place. 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a 2.
Oh, Edward Heath. Dude, your mouth's creepy. Your mouth's creeping me. What's happening? Edward Heath. 2. I don't know. You're weirding me out with your smile. His smile's weird. His eyes don't smile with the rest of his smile. I don't like it.
I know. Yeah. No, 1. 1. I really don't like that smile.
Oh, James Callaghan. His entire face is in the middle of his face.
Yeah. 2.
Yeah, 2, I guess. He doesn't look mean. Oh, Margaret Thatcher. Gross! Get away!
Yeah, 1.
She's the only woman on this list, so I'm going to automatically set her at a 5.
There's other women on this list.
Well, no, I mean the only woman we've had so far. So,
okay,
and in fact, I think there is only one other woman. So
there's 2 other women.
Is there? All right, okay. Why have we gone back to black and white pictures again, by the way? Alec Douglas Hom got a colour picture, and then Harold Wilson, Edward Heath, and James Callaghan and Margaret Thatcher all ended up with black and white pictures, even though she was, in 1979?
Probably because they had some form of position in office before they became Prime Minister, and they had that picture taken as they were in office.
All right. Did you have to give such a sensible answer?
Listen, I don't know where that came from.
John Major, 4. I don't know. He's got a weird haircut.
Yeah, I think I'd give him a 3.
This is the era of person, and he's got the look of a Jeffrey Dahmer. The quality of the picture, the kind of color style of it.
It's the Jeffrey Dahmer era, that.
The glasses.
Yeah.
Tony Blair, this is the first Prime Minister I remember being a Prime Minister.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure... wait, one sec. What does this column mean? Oh, shit, I've lost my way. Okay, so this is the end of their term. So, John Major was Prime Minister when I was born. So, March, April, May. So, for 2 months, he was Prime Minister when I was born, but then it was Tony Blair from then. So, that's why he's the first Prime Minister I ever remember. Tony Blair, it looks a bit like a rat, really.
Yeah,
he's not
was
awful
a rat.
looking, though.
Looks quite a rat
5.
bastard, so I give him a 3.
Gordon Brown. You know what? I feel bad for Gordon Brown. He wasn't great as a Prime Minister. He wasn't that bad, but he had so much like economic shit to deal with that like everyone just thought he were a bad Prime Minister, and then they were like, "Oh, let's get David Cameron in. That'll fucking fix it." Now look at us. Now look at us. So Gordon Brown, I think, looks nice. I think he's friendly, but he's a bit old and saggy. So I'm going to give him a 5 as well.
I give him a 4.
Mrs. Squeegee says on Kick, because we record this live, bear in mind.
Yeah.
Daddy hold me poopy head. Are you saying that to a particular Prime Minister that we're in the looks
She
of?
She was saying that about John Major.
John Major, she likes to look at John Major. I don't know. Okay, David Cameron. For all his sins, he's not the worst looking fella. He's not good looking, but
yeah. I give him a 6.
Yeah, I think a 6 is fair.
I give him a 6.
He fucked a pig, so we can...
He did fuck a pig.
Can have that in his brains. Theresa May.
Theresa May not looking good,
I
sweetheart.
literally just got flashbacks from Margaret Thatcher. I'm like, wait, is this Margaret Thatcher again? She looks so similar, but somehow a bit worse. 4.
2.
Weird that I'd rather fuck David Cameron than Theresa May. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, God, Boris Johnson.
There
1.
he is.
Fucking...
There he is. God
Shit.
damn, you fucking monster. Look at you. I'll give him a 2.
Have you ever thought that the way Boris Johnson's, like, eye flaps slant over his eyes, it almost forms a Pizza Hut?
Oh, yeah, my God. Yeah, that looks like a Pizza Hut. Yeah. I never thought that, but yeah, it does.
Liz Truss, she is a woman who isn't that old, so I'm going to slap her with a 7. So far as the scale of Prime Ministers go.
I think I give it a 7, yeah.
And then we've got the current Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. He's not awful looking, he's got massive ears.
Yeah, he has got fat fucking ears.
5, I guess.
I'm a 4.
I think I can see the average person just like slightly ugly in my mind, so he's only a little ugly, I guess. Oh God, this feels so shallow. Anyway, yeah, that's a massive filler for half the podcast for the end of this. Like and subscribe. Let us know if you want us to do this with Kings and Queens. I think that's who I actually meant to do this with, but I accidentally did it with Prime Ministers.
I think this will be better. I think this is better.
Well, we can do it with Kings and Queens, and we can also do it with US presidents. Yeah. So, any final words, Judd, to end today's podcast with?
Just, eat your fruit and veg, drink your water, pray to God. Yeah.
Or not if you don't want to. Da, 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 da.